good morning, and welcome to day number 4 of the Become the Go-To Girl in Your Industry and Be Seen as a Leader. So today I'm super excited because it's Q&A day, and it's also the topic of the day is the touch points of your personal brand. So let's start so if you have a question for today, please make sure you start writing them on the comments so I have time to read them. I also have some questions that were submitted to me in advance, and so I'm going to start talking to you about the topic of the day, and then I'll get to answer your questions. So, the touch points of your personal brand. What is that? So, as you know, our personal brand is pretty much the perception people get of who actually we are. The touch points of your personal brand are the ways in which people get to experience your personal brand and who you are. So the first one, and I've got again my list here so I don't forget. So the first one is your visual communication. So your visual communication will refer to you pretty much. So how you come across through the clothes you wear, to your makeup, your hair, to how you actually are seen visually speaking. Then we have the second element of your personal brand, the touch point, is your verbal communication. And that is obviously is going to be referring to, let's say if you do these videos, how is your verbal communication coming across? If you do public speaking, how are you coming across to your verbal communications? It's also, what else do I have here? This is a really important one. Your greeting on your message, and when people leave a message on your phone, do they go to the voicemail and it's, hi, this is Alba here, leave a message? Or they really get that essence and feeling of who you actually are? Then we have your written communication, which will be pretty much anything that is written on a brochure, the stories you write on your website, your newsletters. So this is all about what are the stories that you are communicating through your written communication, and how are people getting a perception of who you are through that. And then we have, obviously, obviously you are obviously that person that is creating those touch points. So as I said at the beginning, and because I see some people joining now, hey Vicky, how are you? So we are talking about the elements of the touch points of your personal brand, which means this is about how people are going to be able to just experience your personal brand, and they will experience it obviously through you. So we have the first question there, the perception of who you are, and then they're going to also get an impression of who you are through your website, through your Facebook, through your videos, through the stories you speak, through the way you communicate. And the most important thing to make you stand out and become the go-to girl in your industry is making sure that the 4 elements are consistent and congruent. We as human beings, we detect inconsistency and incongruency straight away, and then we lose trust. And when we lose trust, we don't want to buy from that brand or that person. So you want to make sure, and that's when we started the challenge, really getting to understand who are you. Hi, Bethany. So really understanding who are you. Hi, Karina. And just when we know who we are, then we have that clarity, and then we also clarify, this is the person I am, this is the woman I am, and then this is how I want to be perceived. And there's usually a little bit of a gap of how we think we are perceived and how actually people perceive us. So we want to create consistency of congruency so people can develop that trust. And brands that develop trust get to command higher fees. So we want to make sure that our visual, verbal, written communication, they're all consistent, sending a message that is all delivering that feeling of who you are. Because remember, your personal brand is actually who you actually are. So let's start now with this first question. So make sure you like this video, you share it if you're getting valuable information, and make sure you post your questions on the thread so I can start replying them. So the first one is, how can I balance looking professional without losing my femininity? Oh, I love this. I don't like wearing black suits every day. I get asked this all the question. These women who work on the corporate world or with the businesses, they feel they need to look a certain way. And there's no such thing. And as you know, I stand strongly for authenticity. You can look credible. You can look professional without trying to be someone you are not. And I am no one for saying that you actually need to wear, sorry, the wind is getting rid of my papers, that you actually need to wear a suit ever to look professional. You can look professional by selecting clothes that simply obviously accentuate your body shape. You can look, I am wearing today a big necklace and a colorful top. And I can still look very professional if I chuck in, I look decent and professional enough as I am now, and if I chuck a jacket on top of this, it's gonna work well. So there's never, I think we start with this belief that we need to look certain way. That's not the reality. There's a science behind it, and there's way in you can actually still keep your femininity. You can still wear feminine clothes without having to go to the what I call the boring black suit and a white shirt. So I had a client who absolutely loved flowery dresses and very flowy fabrics, and she was telling me she was not taking seriously, and I said, well, we're taking femininity to the extreme. You are not going to be seen as that credible and professional woman if all you're wearing is clothes that could be more too childish, like too flowery, too flowy, probably is not going to help you. But if you just tone it down by either getting rid of the too flowy, or either too flowery, you're gonna be able to find a balance. You, by wearing makeup, look more professional. You can do your hair in a way that is gonna make you look professional. So you can, it's not about losing who you are. And I also heard this a lot, women be worried that if they look too good, too made up, people are gonna think they don't have any substance to them, which is also not true. It is important to actually understand that you are a woman, you are, I think, in this planet to embrace that, and you can still be feminine, wear accessories, wear makeup, wear beautiful clothes, but there is a science in which I can share with you how to balance your femininity and your credibility. Now, the next question says, Vicky, when you like a lot of different styles, how do you pick which style is best for your business? That's a great question. And I hear all this all the time as well. Like, there's no such thing as we all wear jackets or all wear jeans. Like, we all have inside us, we have a different style personality. So when it comes to first impressions, it's all about meeting the expectations of the market. But then, my approach to that, I think it's all about authenticity and staying true to who you are. So there is a middle ground in which you understand how lines, how styles, and how colors work and the impression they create in people. Then we go back a few steps as to us deciding and defining your personal brand, and you deciding how you want to be perceived. So that's the thing, we're gonna get that into in a couple of days when we decide our brand words. And when you decide your brand words, these brand words come from the authenticity of who you actually are. And then you're gonna decide how is it that you wanna be perceived. Then it's gonna be much easier for you to dress in a way that represents who you are. And also, this is not about you having to wear only the colors of your logo. This is not having to stick to wearing always suits. This is not about you sticking to one style. That doesn't mean to be, that is not the meaning of being on brand. Being on brand meaning you staying and creating a feeling on people, but that feeling is and that essence is coming from the essence of who you actually are. So you can wear your styles, Vicky, and that's still good. That's not gonna be any problem at all. If you have different styles, it's fine. It's when and the occasion is the important thing. When you wanna appear to be the most credible, you go for the most credible one. When you wanna appear as more joyful, you go for the styles that allow you to be seen more joyful. Like, I probably will be able to get away with wearing exactly this that I'm wearing. Like, it's just a green top with big necklace. And if I just put a jacket, I will be easily to be super credible to present in a very serious Congress for lawyers and accountants. So what I'm trying to say here is, when you understand the science and you understand what colors actually create the impression and lines and styles create an impression. So just to give you an example, the more colorful the top, the more, let's say, fun and creative, taking a little bit of credibility away. However, if the top is more anything that is more fitted create a little bit of credibility. If you wear a suit, like a jacket, a black jacket that mimics the male suit, that is the most credible thing. So what I tend to do, because that's my style, I like my colors, I like my accessories, I will team that black suit that it will be still fitted and nice, a little bit of feminine, not too square and pointy. I will team it up with colors and accessories, and I will still be able to create a balance. So it's all about understanding that you can stay true to who you are. And once you understand the science of the impression management and how clothes affect that image that you create, then you can do whatever you want, really. You get to have the knowledge, so you pick your middle ground. And that's something that I always talk about with my clients. And when we are working on the one-on-one setting is, I help you to find you. And then how that is translated into clothes that are absolutely you and make you feel you and confident. Because for me, it's about the feeling behind the look. So I want you to look great, of course, but I want you more than anything to look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I feel great, I look great. And when you feel that way, you start acting from that place of confidence. You communicate with your potential clients, with your friends, with your family members, and that's the power that I absolutely love. So we have the next question is, what used to look so good professional on me doesn't work same way anymore now that I've gained weight the last few years. Best suggestions to revamp on a budget since I'm now losing weight since health condition has been sorted. Excellent question, Bethany. And that's one thing. The day to feel good is today. Today. With your body weight today. Not when you lose the weight, not when our hair is this way, not when our skin is darker. So that is a good idea. So what I suggest is you stick to the basic pieces. So professionally speaking doesn't work on me anymore. Okay, so if it doesn't work anymore, it's just because the clothes you own don't fit your shape anymore, so that's okay. So what I recommend is going back to the pieces that are basic. So get a pair of black pants, because we can do so much with them. I recommend you go with a straight leg and go like a style that is neither not too dressy and not too casual. So black pants, straight leg. And then what you can do is just get a couple of tops in different colors. And that is actually all you need. And when you accessorize those tops, thank you for the likes. When you accessorize all those tops with different accessories and necklaces, you will be surprised at how many amount of combinations you will get. So if you either get a pair of black pants, a pair of jeans, and then when you go with darker jeans, they're more versatile and they can be more dressy. That's when you can actually create many more amounts of combinations. But remember, your life is today, and the way for you is to accept your body as it is today and embrace it. So I can even share with you later a couple of the basic items that will be great for you to start playing with. But you need to walk into your wardrobes every morning and be able to pick outfits that work. Because if you're just going to be feeling that everything you have there doesn't fit, you're gonna start your day with that low energy. And as you all know, the things that happen in the first few hours after we wake up will set that energy for the day. So get a pair of black pants, get a pair of jeans, get 3-4 tops in colors, and make that the foundation. And I recommend that is the case, because you're gonna be changing of white. Go and buy tops that are not super expensive. That you can, when you get the colors right, you can get things that work for you very well, and they don't have to be super expensive. So get the color right, get the style right, and you will be fine. Now, Vicky asked again, how do I know how serious I want to be taken? Well, Vicky, you can answer that questions. Like, as you know me personally speaking, and you know, with my business, I take very serious my business. I know a lot about my topic, but I don't want to miss the fun person, warm and passionate. I don't want to miss all of those characteristics. So I have created a brand for myself that allows people to take me seriously, because I am backing up my knowledge, my look, and my clothes, and how I relate to people with a lot of depth of knowledge. So you actually want people to take you seriously, because if people don't take you seriously, especially I know you are a business owner, how you want to be seen as the expert. And being seen as the expert means you have a depth of knowledge on your area of expertise. So you definitely want to be taken as seriously. However, taken seriously doesn't mean losing who you are. Doesn't mean you be boring. Doesn't mean you have to be, yes, exactly. You want to be serious but fun. And I guess that's the thing. I am a very fun, passionate woman, and I am warm, and I want that to be me, but I want my brand also to be taken seriously. So as I said, there's elements in which you balance things. You keep the fun, but you add credibility to how you dress, to your body language, and to the way you share the knowledge, so people get that feeling that you know. So as I said, as you all guys know, this is a process, and I'm sharing here with you the tip of the iceberg only. So there's definitely ways, and you can be serious and you can be professional. You can keep your femininity, but you can be credible. It's all about understanding that there's ways in which people perceive us, and once we understand how that works in terms of body language and clothing, and how you dress in general, and the accessories you wear, and how you do your hair, and how you do your makeup, and how you stand, and how you say things, you can balance both sides of the spectrum. This is not about you changing who you are because you need to be someone else. You can be fun, You can be warm, you can be passionate, and you can be seen as the expert as well, and you can be the to-go person. So this is pretty much the biggest message, and I love these questions because it really allows me to explain that this is about you embracing who you are and just learning a couple of new tools that are going to really help you balance elements of the spectrum. And to give you an example, I had a client, and does it really matter to get dressed up at home for work? Okay, that's a great question. So I'll say the story of the client quickly. She was very worried because she was not being taken seriously, and she was this owner of this business and she had a partner in business, the guy and her, and she was telling me, I'm not taken seriously, but I don't want to be losing who I am and my femininity and my fun and my warmth. So we work on her body language, and we work on the way she was dressing. And as soon as she understood how the science worked, she was able to pick, this feels like me, this I am happy to add a little bit more, this is not me at all. So that's how it works. So does it really matter to get dressed up at home for work? As you know, for my perspective and probably the experience I've had working with clients for the last 7 years, is the feeling behind the look. And I actually have days when I work from my pajamas. I have done it. But when I am dressed up even a little bit, like actually I have a pair of jeans, I'll show you. I have this here. I have a top and I have a necklace. The time that I took putting on a pair of jeans at top of a necklace, it was exactly the time that it took me to it would have taken me putting a pair of leggings and any gym gear. So I don't necessarily need the heels to feel good, but I have clients who have found that for them, even if they're wearing super casual clothes, they put on heels, they feel confident. So if you're feeling confident, if you're feeling focused, then do it. But if I'm having, for example, discovery calls, so I am having a conversation when I want to feel in my power, I do actually want to look good. Because when you look good and you catch yourself looking in the mirror and you look good, then again is that you stand in your power, you feel confident, and you relate from that energy. So for me, I would say yes, it is important, but then I'm flexible. There's days where you're actually doing things that you don't need to be. And then being dressed up doesn't mean wearing like a super overdress and have full on makeup. Sometimes I just put a little bit of a lippy, nothing else, and a nice top that I know that complements my face, and that's all I do, and it takes me 5 minutes. So that's it. So Bethany says, love this challenge, thank you. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for your question, girls. Any more questions? We're about to finish. I have few ones here that I didn't have the time to get to, so whoever submitted the questions, I will be replying to you by email. But remember that day 8 is again Q&A. So make sure you start preparing your questions and you just jump online and submit them to me. And just to remind you, the topic of the day was the touch points of your personal brand. And they are your verbal, written, visual communication. And the key to creating a brand that stands out is all about being consistent and authentic. So the foundation of all this is you getting so comfortable and clear with who you are, with how you want to be perceived, because that comes from the essence of who you are. We're not going to change anything. You're going to stand in your power. You're going to be this because it is for you. And as I've said many times in the past, if you've been following me for a while, I do this that you see because I love it. I do it because when I look in the mirror, I feel confident. I am giving myself love when I put a little bit of makeup. And if you are thinking this took forever, it took me 5 minutes. So it's finding the routines, knowing which colors look good on you, learning how to put outfits together in a way that works for you, learning what is the routine with your hair that is going to be easy. I am all about practicality, being able to put a look together that is super effective for all things that you need to do during the day, from picking up the kids to be the businesswoman you are, to just being just relaxing at home or just doing anything you're doing. Is all about finding routines. I don't know why the light went so weird. It's finding routines that are going to work for you and that you can put yourself together in a way that is quick and is efficient and is going to make you feel great. Remember, it's all about loving and embracing the woman you are today, making the most out of the beautiful body and face you have because you are perfect. It's bringing the attention to those parts of you that you actually love, and stop beating yourself up because your eyebrows are this way, like my two girls here, because your weight is not where you wanted it to be. So it's like, embrace who you are, be happy with it. Do not feel you have to challenge people with how you look. Thank you for the love. And just really, really embrace that essence of who you are and make the most out of it, because because it's gonna make you feel great. And because when you feel great, you know that will impact every single area of your life. And you are gonna be noticed. You're gonna be seen that that woman that walks into the room with confidence and is gonna be noticed for the right reasons. And then you're gonna be able to create the success you want for your life and your business. So thank you again for everyone who was online and for the questions. Thank you so much. And if you have any extra questions, you know the conversation continues in the Wow Now Revolution group. So jump on the Facebook group. If you have any more questions, you can post them to me there. And thank you again for being here. Go to the workbook. I forgot to mention that. So if you haven't downloaded the workbook for the challenge, make sure you go to the link that is at the top of this video and that you have completed all the days up to date. These questions are so simple yet so powerful, and you're gonna be able to start getting a little bit at the core of what is actually those important aspects that you need to consider when developing your personal brand. And I can tell you, this is not just for your business. This is a journey that can actually transform your life. So have a beautiful day. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.